Good morning and welcome to our webinar. Tim Bruns is sitting next to me and is ready to give you an overview of Shopware 6, Early Access 2 and its new features and details. In case of any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A tool of Zoom. We decided to ignore the raise hands functionality and the chat is also deactivated, but at the end of the webinar, we will try to answer as many questions as possible. Just to let you know who's speaking to you right now, my name is Raphael and as a knowledge manager, I'm responsible for spreading our knowledge around the world, and so I'm also responsible for the webinars. That's it so far. Tim, the stage is yours.
Thanks, Raphael, for the short introduction. Yeah, my name is Tim Bruns. I had the webinar about Shopware 6 in general before. Now I'm talking about the Early Access 2 version. Just to give you some facts, some figures, in the Early Access 2 version, we had 325 tickets which were solved within the release. So these were not only feature releases, but also bug fixes and stability performances and improvements. So it's definitely worth it having a look into the new Early Access 2 version if you had a look into the Shopware 6 version before, and maybe you figured out some bugs or something that's not working as it's supposed to be. So maybe now it's fixed in the Early Access 2 version. And please share your opinion about the Early Access 2 version. If you have any kind of improvements, maybe you found a bug, just report it to our issue tracker and contact us with your feedback. That would be perfect. To have a short overview, we added some features like the Elasticsearch integration. So now Shopware 6 is also has also the integration of Elasticsearch for high performance users for the search. So it's comparable to the Shopware 5 Elasticsearch integration. We also included a HTTP full page cache. So if you have, for example, some things that need to be cached before, like pictures or something, you can now cache them within the HTTP cache. And we added product reviews, which I will show you in the front end and also in the administration. So if I just go to a product with reviews, you can now see there are two reviews. The stars are also shown like in Shopware 5 before. These are rich snippets, which will also be shown in the Google listing. So if you have a product shown in the Google listing and has reviews, there will also be shown these stars. You will find, with clicking on two reviews or reviews in the bottom, you will find the reviews with these connected to this article. Now, what we added to Shopware 6, what's not included in Shopware 5, you can also filter these reviews. For example, say I only want to have the 5 stars reviews to see what's perfect with the article or with the product. And also I can see different languages for the reviews. So now I'm just seeing the English ones. If there were German ones, I would also see the German ones if I click on that button. I can also write a review. In the first case, only registered customers can write a review. So only people who are registered in your shop can write the review about the article, and you can directly see if the customer really bought the article or if that's just scam because maybe he's not a fan of your articles, so he registered but never bought an article. So you can filter this down. I'm not sure. Okay, I need to log in first. Maybe it's check this one. If I go back to the article, also you can see in the listing there are these 4 stars which are shown also in the article. It's also added with the new review function. And now I can see I also already did a review and I can edit this one. So I did the 3-star one and I can edit it. For example, the shop told me, okay, maybe you get a refund of 20 euros because something went wrong with your order, something. And I said before, okay, the service of the shop wasn't that good. That's why the article gets 3 stars. And now I can say, okay, the service was great. So I can change it to 5 stars and say a good product, but, and now I can say a good product and good service, for example. I can send it. This now is in the administration to get reviewed. So you can see in the administration all reviews, which are also not shown in the front end. That's why I'm going to the review function in the administration. So now there's a good product and good service, 5 stars, and it's not visible at the moment. As you can see, you can't click in here and change anything because that's the review from your customer. You can see which customer it was, from which email address, and everything like this. You can also change the language. The language is connected to your shop language. So if the customer writes a review in your English shop and he's German speaking and he writes it in German, you can change the language to German so that it's correctly visible in your shop. Then you can say, okay, it's visible, and maybe you can comment because it was 3 stars before. You can comment, we gave him 20 bucks off to get 5 stars from 3, for example. And now I should see it in the front end as well. And there it is. Good product and good service, 5 stars. And obviously there's our feedback, which shouldn't be like this. But as you can see, that's your comment. So not internal, but external. Yeah, I think that's about it regarding reviews. We also added a pagination. So if there are 5 and more, there would be a second page, for example, just not to let this page be too long if there are hundreds of reviews, for example. So this is all about the reviews. We also added some functionality in the shopping experiences. So if we go to our administration, we can go to shopping experiences. Now you will see that that's if I add a new one, that's a step-by-step configurator. So if I say listing page, I can now say sidebar or full width. Sidebar, that's a new functionality which I will show you now, and I will give it a name like sidebar test, create layout. And now I can see, because I used the listing tool, there's already a listing included. And now I have a sidebar which I can fill in. So for the sidebar, we added a new category called sidebar, where I can find filters and navigation. I can set it up here, filters on top of the listing, or I can use the navigation on the left side and put the filters on top. For example, like this. Then I need to give it, that's perfectly working. Then I can, for example, also add to the sidebar, say, product or an article, product, sorry, like this. Let's don't give it a name, or maybe our best products. We take this one, done, and then we can save it. And now we can add it to category. For example, we take the clothing, we change the layout to sidebar test, which I just added. And now we can go back to our front end, clothing, and we will see on the left side our filters and also the navigation, which I added, and our best product, which is the main product. Could be a slider, but now there's just one product in it, so it's not a slider at the moment. You can add like banners or HTML text or whatever. Some people add shipping information or payment information in the left sidebar, so you can now just add it side by side if you want it to your product listing. That's a pretty nice feature, and also these filters and the navigation will get auto-filled, so you don't need to set up like hundreds of these listings for your 100 categories, for example, but these are filled in directly in the category itself. So that's directly filled. You don't need to have several work with it. You can now also translate all the shopping experiences in the backend, in the administration, sorry. So if you go to shopping experiences, you will also see these language picker. You can say in English, my name is sidebar test and these things are in it. And in German, it's different. We also added a video element to the pool of elements on the right side. If you go to, I think it's images, yep, there you can add a video, which is, for example, a YouTube video or something like this. So if you go into this, you enter the video link, and then you can also say when it starts and if it's showing all the information which can be used in YouTube and everything like this. So for now, I just delete it because we don't need it. Talking about filters, we also added them to the front end. We can now have filters based on variants and properties. In Shopware 6, we just use properties which can be used as a variant option. So we don't have the two features which we had in Shopware 5, like variants and properties, which were different. Now you just have the properties where you can see all the functionalities, all the options you can have for a product. If you go to a product which has variants, for example, you will see that there's a variant generator. If we say generate variants, we can pick our properties, for example, color and size, and then we can say, okay, these options are available for my product. I can then generate them as I did here. Also, you can say how it should be presented in the front end. So storefront presentation, for example, I can say in which direction they should be shown. So if color or size is on top, if white, red, or blue is the first, second, and third, and size-wise, ML makes sense to me, but I can also change it to LM, for example. That's your decision now. You can also assign media to different options. So say blue, white, and red should have blue, white, and red boxes, like I did here. And you can say display and listing. So if color has the checkbox display and listing, I can show you. Beforehand, it looks like this. There's our variant product. If I open it, you see white, red, and blue. If I then click the button display and listing and save everything like this, we can go back to our listing. Now you see 3 products. Obviously, I just added one picture for this product, so I see 3 same products. If I change the names, for example, to variant product red, variant product white, variant product blue, I will see some difference. And also I will directly go into the blue, for example. Beforehand, we were in the red variation. So now you can see in the white variation, and now you can see the difference. So this is also a new feature added to the Early Access 2. We can have dynamic filters. The next step for these filters will be that if you're in a listing, for example, in here, and you have, for example, color blue added, but the size, for example, S and XL isn't available for color blue or in general, they will just not be shown, or they will be grayed out. So no customer has a blank listing afterwards. Talking about the front end, you can now see this is my domain. Is Shopware 6 early access 2.test. So 6ea2.test. And now you can see there are SEO URLs. So we don't have the technical URLs anymore. We now have the SEO URLs, which is standard from Shopware, the name of the product and the article, the product number. So you can change it in the administration, obviously. I can show you this in the administration directly. Let me check. SEO. Standard-wise, it's, as I said, product translated name. So for the different languages, it's different, and product number. You can obviously add more variables. That's just Twig, so should be easy to use. You have a for each loop in the breadcrumb. So if I go to clothing, I have my clothing. If I then go from clothing to clothing woman, I have clothing woman, which is the breadcrumb for each loop added in here. We also have a canonical rich snippet for Google. So if I go to any product, let me check this one, then this one. There you find the canonical tag for Google. So Google will find this product directly, and I can see it in my front end that Google is able to find this. This is also added in the new release. Yeah, I think that's about it about the SEO URLs and changes in the front end. We also added promotions to the administration. So we have the possibility to add, for example, voucher codes or different promotions for different customer groups, for different products, for different cards, for example, for different zones, everything like this. So I added one, which is 20 euro off. It's active, it's connected with my sales channel. It has a promotion code, which is sale. I can also use individual promotion codes, and you will see over here that I can use this sale. And then in here it says, okay, I can use $D, $S for characters and digits. So I can say, for example, $D, dollar. Oh, it's percent, sorry, it's not dollar. Percent D, percent S, percent D, percent S. So I have now digits edit, characters edit, digits edit, and characters edit, say 10. And now you can see these are my individual codes, which can be used in the front end, obviously, to get 20 euro off. The whole system is a rule-based system, so we can have preconditions. For example, in this case, we have shopping carts with the minimum amount of 30. These are easy to add. Just create a new rule, give it a name, say minimum 40. Priority, depending on how many you have, it should be useful to use priorities, not too high, but say between 1 and 100. I can say 12, description is test, and then I can search for conditions. For example, cart amount in this case is equal to, is greater than or equal to, is less than, everything like this. For example, is greater than and equal or equal to. Now I can add the amount. Obviously, that's in German for as an example. Say is greater than 40 at this. I save it, and now obviously I would have to delete the minimum 30 because these were overwriting themselves. So now it's minimum 40. I can save it, and then everybody in the front end will add these conditions and these sales if they have a cart amount greater than 40 or 40. I can also give discounts to different sets, to different products. So I only have product rules. For example, only products which are connected with the category clothes, but not products connected with free time and electronics. I can add these rules over here. So to summarize the main features and main differences between early access 1.1 and 2, we have many tickets solved in this release. I said 325 at the moment, getting more in the newer versions of early access 2 maybe. We have some small bug fixes, stability improvements, general settings added, and also these comfort functionalities, which I showed you before. Currently, we are working on further updates of features in the administration, product exports, the SEO iteration too. So there will also be the possibility to add metadata in the administration to give more information about your products than just the description itself. And you will find all the upcoming new features on our website, shopware.com. Let me change it to English. If we go to products roadmap, you will find a very precise roadmap about Shopware 6 and upcoming releases. So you can see product exports, migration, storefront, forget password, workflow, everything like this. Could be a question, import-export module for the backend will be added in the future, maybe around Q1 in 2020. We are API first. That's why that's not the biggest aim at the moment. There are some things that need to be done beforehand, but this is also in our roadmap. So it will be added in future. Yeah, I think from my point, that's it. Raphael, back to you.
Thank you, Tim. Thanks for the comprehensive overview about Shopware Early Access 2. In fact, there are no open questions. That's, again, the offer to you guys, to the audience. Just feel free to ask your questions. If there is no question popping in within the next seconds, I would suggest to just close this topic over here. You know that you can always get in touch with us, give us just a call, drop us an email, and then we will be there for you. Up until now, there's no open question. So thanks, Tim, for sharing your knowledge. Thanks, everybody, for listening. And I wish you a great day. And we'll see you soon in the next weeks to join the next webinar.